I am your host, MISHUMAA SABA, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace. And welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. And I am your host, MISHUMAA SABA, M. Saba. And this is our Cultural Variety Podcast Show. How y'all doing this evening? Peace. And greetings to y'all. Listen. We are almost in the mid of December. It's December 6, 2022. And time is just traveling. And, I just want to say, man, make sure that you enjoy every bit of it, as we grow older and wiser. But yeah, today's December 6th. And, before I start the show, on a scale of 1 through 10, how are you feeling today? 1 being your lowest, 10 being your most comfortable place. On a scale of 1 through 10, how are you feeling today? And that's what we want to know at Coffee Talk Podcast, because we're here to give you the flavor. We're here to uplift you. We're here to hear you. We're here to heal you. And we are definitely here to make you smile. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it's about here at Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. All right, and look, man, I'm so happy to be back. It's been a long week, starting since Friday for me, because as you noticed, we didn't do our weekend show this past weekend, and mainly it's just because I had some other obligations that I had to attend to, and we just had to reschedule the show. But yeah, we're here tonight. And, earlier today, I had stated we might get 2 shows off tonight. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we are here for tonight. So may you all be here for the show. Contact your friends, your family, let them know the show is on podcast, Coffee Talk Podcast. Hey, log in. Coffee Talk's on. Let your friends know. Definitely hit the like button. Share the video. And make sure you subscribe. You can view us on YouTube as well as Facebook Live. All right, so we got a great show for you. If this is your first time tuning in to Coffee Talk Podcast, we are a Cultural Variety Podcast show. We like to appear 3 times a week. At the beginning of the week, which is a Sunday, alternate Monday night. Typically, we do what we call cultural studies. That's what we're going to do tonight. But, our culture is so broad. We're going to talk about a couple people that are in the news, and we're going to go off that for tonight's segments. We also appear on Wednesday nights. Wednesday is our sports show night. We're not your typical sports show. We don't really care who won and lost. What we like to do is give you the different intricacies that goes on behind the scenes in the world of sports. And then on Friday and Saturdays, that's our alternate weekend night. We like to give you grown folks social hours. So that's when we bring on a guest. We also have 10-question Q&A, which is a fun game to play. And we just enjoy ourselves. We want to say, come on in on Friday, Saturday nights and, kick your feet up and enjoy yourself. And that's our social hour. We like to have fun, crack jokes, do all that stuff. Give you love, laughter, and humor. So that's what we do. So may we see you on future days. Maybe you are one of those supporters that like to watch all 3 different variety shows throughout the week. Maybe you got your certain days that you like to tune in. But either way, we are happy to have you as a supporter of Coffee Talk Podcast. All right, so now if this is your first time tuning into the show, we never start the show without giving it its flavor, which is a drink, as well as giving it its wise words. Now, as far as the flavor goes, the flavor can be anything that's flavorful. You know what I'm saying? Anything. It could be words. It could be beers, or it can be something that you drink, or it can just be love and emotion or empowerment, admirations. That's what we do when we say we're going to give you today's flavor. But today's flavor is, I a nice drink, as you can see up there in the corner. This drink is called the Blue Lagoon, and it's made from the Laraja fruit, which is from an island in the Caraco Islands. It's a Caribbean drink. And to make this drink, I know you might not be in the Caribbean. If you are, I know y'all's already on those Blue Lagoons. But if you are at the bar or you probably in your home and you want to just pour yourself something nice this evening as you listen to Coffee Talk Podcast, I'm going to tell you exactly how to make that drink right there. All right. So go ahead and grab yourself a tall glass, of course, and we're going to go ahead and make the Blue Lagoon. So to make the Blue Lagoon, the ingredients you must have is ice cubes, 2 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of blue Caraco liquor, as well as lemonade, and as well as maraschino cherries. Put that all together, blend it all up, and there you have the flavor for today. Today's flavor here at Coffee Talk Podcast is the Blue Lagoon Caribbean drink. So go ahead and drink a little bit of that and make sure you with the flavor. All right. Also, today's wise word is from a legend, one of the youngest heavyweight champions in the history of boxing, before Iron Mike Tyson out of Catskill, New York, broke that record. This gentleman was 21 years old when he won the heavyweight championship. He was born January 4th, 1935, and he went on to the Essence May 11th, 2006. This boxer reigned or had a boxing career for 20 years that lasted from 1952 to 1972. This boxer was heavyweight champion in 1952, and then won the championship again, regaining the title in 1962. The youngest champion ever before Mike Tyson broke that record. This is no other than Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson is one of our ancestors and a boxing hero, and we're going to share some of his wise words tonight here at Coffee Talk Podcast. Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson stated, "It's easy to do anything in victory. It's in defeat that a man reveals himself." So I'm going to say that again. These are tonight's wise words by Floyd Patterson. It's easy to do anything in victory. It's easy to do anything in victory. It's in defeat that a man reveals himself. It's easy to do anything in victory. It's in defeat that a man reveals himself. Those are the wise words of professional boxer and one of our ancestors, Mr. Floyd Patterson. May he rest in palaces. All right, so let's go ahead and get on into the show, man. I've been seeing this guy in the news a lot. Definitely in the new media, he's been around on all the circuits, all the podcasts, and of course, he's just dropping game like he always does. This is no other than Dame Dash, and Dame Dash is a co-founder of Rockefeller Records with Kareem Biggs Burke and Jay-Z. He is the co-founder of that legendary group as far as company, Rockefeller Company. And when I say group, I'm just talking about how those three co-founded it together. They worked together to build off of their dreams and manifestations and made it a reality. So we giving big shots out to Dame Dash, man. Dame Dash, he is not only is he an actor, a record producer, a media magnate, an entrepreneur, a music executive, and he's made and movie director. Did I already say that? I said media magnate. However, these are some of the movies that Dame Dash has either produced or directed or both. He produced Estate Property in 2002, State Property 2 in 2005, Fresh Dressed in 2015, Honor Up 2018, Music Moguls, which was a show about music moguls. That was in 2016. A movie called Wasted Talent, also in 2018, and one of my favorite comedy movies, Paper Soldiers. I'm just stumbling tonight, y'all. Paper Soldiers is what I'm trying to say, and that was in 2002. Yeah, I know I'm stumbling in my work, not bad. But yeah, we want to go ahead and give props to Dame Dash, man. And the reason why Dame Dash is on our minds tonight here at Coffee Talk Podcast is because this is one of the brothers in the music industry where you don't hear a lot about him really messing over his artists. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, him and Jay-Z had a falling out of whatever sorts. Some speculate that it was just because of Dame's bravado. But I don't have a problem with his bravado. You know, Dame is definitely for his culture. And nobody can dispute that. He talks about it a lot. He represents his culture. He represents us. And, you know, you have to be brash. You have to have some type of bravado when you dealing with a room full of snakes that love being culture vultures and stealing your culture and not giving our artists or our media outlets room to expand and grow. As Kanye said, they want to basically keep us workers, you know what I'm saying, and not allow us to own anything. They want to reap the rewards off of young black males and females. So Damon Dash is someone that has always stood on his morals. He stood on his square. He's a man of character. He's a man of integrity, and he tells you what's on his mind. He's a little bit like me, man. We don't really sugarcoat. We're not the sugarcoat types. You know, we feel like sugarcoating is a waste of time. We know we learned this from some of our ancestors, such as Dick Gregory, people that are just straightforward people. We don't really do the sugarcoating, man. We don't want to send you off. We want to make sure that you make the right choice in life, but we ain't about to play with you. And so that's why we're giving our respects to Dame Dash tonight. Dame Dash was born May 3rd, 1971. He is one of the co-founders of Rockefeller that went on one of the biggest musical tours in rap history, a musical tour of the Rockefeller Def Jam tour, which earned $19 million on tours with such people as Method Man and Redman, the whole Rock Nation, Jay-Z, State Property. Man, those was the days. There's definitely videos out there, documentaries out there of that grand tour. I would definitely go to YouTube or any video outlet to check out that tour, man. It's a nice documentary. I forgot the name of it, as I would have that ready for y'all. Dame Dash also created a magazine called AU Magazine. And so, you know, we just want to go ahead and give props to a solid brother, an alpha, a brother that really, really loves his culture, man. He stands for it. It's unfortunate that the group or the music label, the record label, I'm sorry, y'all, the record label has dismantled and Rockefeller rockwear that a lot of y'all's fathers wore, your mothers wore, some of y'all might even have wore. That was like a hot clothing line back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And, you know, it has been sold on. But Dame Dash continues to make movies, continues to do documentaries, and continues to fight for the culture. You know, he doesn't have much respect for Leo Core, who's a guy that is an executive over at Def Jam that actually was on Breakfast Club one time stating his thoughts on the rap industry. And I would recommend that y'all go to Breakfast Club and listen to Leo Core talk about his thoughts on black culture and black music. with Charlemagne the God and the Breakfast Club. So definitely look that up, check that out. But my people, go ahead and leave a comment on your thoughts with Dame Dash. Dame Dash is one of the brothers that we need. A lot of you might have your own personal feelings, but I'm talking about on a macro level. We need real soldiers right now in this day and time. People that are not afraid to stand up for justice, for our story, for our people. And when I say our people, I'm talking about people that are committed to love, people that's committed to growth, people that are committed to unity. I don't want y'all to be arguing over this one or that, but we just keeping it real. We need to see more males on the front lines and speaking up to the truths that infect and have an impact on all of us. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking these people to just speak for us, no, but it's good to see people like Kyrie Irving, people like Kanye West, people like Dame Dash, people that are actually speaking up for our people, man. And also big shouts out to LeBron James um, for his press conference the other day when he asked, every time we get in front of these old media outlets, you want to ask us questions to cause division amongst our people. But you never ask us questions that people that may not look like us, that may be the 1% of the world that has the most money and controls everything. You never ask us questions about those things or those injustices. Like, what am I talking about, Saba? Well, like, for example, you have Brett Favre and his welfare case stealing over $70 million, allegedly over $70 million from welfare recipients in Mississippi, and that's everybody. Because one thing we are not going to do is we're going to point that narrative and make it seem like, oh, he stole $70 million from black people. No, there's more white people getting welfare than any other groups that may involve with getting that type of assistance. So Brett Favre, man, we need to have that still in the news. How does a brother steal $70 million from the state, allegedly in cahoots with the governor, allegedly, and it's not talked about? It was talked about for about 30 seconds, and then old media swept it under the rug. And that's why we are in where we are today, where new media such as Coffee Talk Podcast and many other podcast shows are giving you true information now. And that's why this business is turning into a $1 billion business. We want to make sure that you continue to get true news, not no bought news, if you know what I mean. Solid. You don't hear about Dame Dash robbing too many of his own, you know what I mean? You don't really hear that. So that's why we tipping our hats off to Dame Dash and we saluting the general. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother, for continuing to represent our culture to the fullest. Even if people don't tell you how much we appreciate you, we here at Coffee Talk Podcast are sending love, man. And we saying, man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep representing us, man, to the fullest. And, man, we appreciate that a lot. And I can speak for a lot of people that recognize you, God. So much love and respect to no other than Dame Dash. All right. Moving right along, we're going to go ahead and jump. Oh, before I do that, before we jump into our next segment, there's something that I want to say that Dame Dash has stated. It's a wise words. And Dame Dash has stated this. He said, find something you love and fight fearlessly until it makes money. Find something you love and fight fearlessly until it makes money. And I'm saying that to all of our small business entrepreneurs, our big business entrepreneurs, our people that haven't jumped off the porch yet in whatever endeavor that they are trying to get themselves involved in, as far as becoming financially free, financially independent. So again, find something you love and fight fearlessly until it makes money, is the wise words of Damon Dash. You know what I'm saying? You got to continue to fight. Don't give up after 1 year. Don't give up after 3 years or 4 years. As if it's something that you really enjoy doing and you can see a future in it, you put just as much time in that or more than you do any other job that you've ever worked 8 to 16 hour day with. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be a worker and work your ass off to see other people take their dreams and their childs on trips around the world, whatever, and you not get a piece of that pie. You don't get some type of ownership, or you don't leave what you learned and go build your own. Because at the end of the day, it's really about self in regards to being an owner out here. And that's a lot of the things that Dame Dash talks about. So again, we giving big props to Dame Dash, man. Peace. All right, next Coffee Talk Podcast. We're jumping right in. Big topic going on right now, and that is the fact that one of my favorite cornerbacks, one of the top 10 football players out of 100 in the history of the game, a first-time Hall of Fame, was on the first-time Hall of Fame ballot. This gentleman is an 8-time Pro Bowler, voted in as Defensive Player of the Year in 1994. So if you want to check out some highlights, go to YouTube, type in Deion Primetime Sanders 1994 highlights. This brother was born August 9th, 1967. He has coached since 2012, y'all. Various different academies, schools, programs. Deion has been coaching for since 2012. Former sports analysis and a great coach. This brother went to the HBCU Jackson State to coach. And while there, from the year 2000 to the year 2022 in the SWAC conference, he took that team to back-to-back Celebration Bowl championships in the SWAC. A Celebration Championship Bowl is like the NCAA championship, just in the league of HBCUs. He done brought in lots of money to HBCU. He done gave a lot of his money, time, and charity to Jackson State. Help create better facilities for the sports teams there, new buildings, locker rooms, so forth. This man did that. Not only that, but he led Jackson State University to its first undefeated season in school history. He's finishing up this year, would make 3 years with Jackson State. Right now, Deion is in the news. Deion is in the news because he's vibrant, he's energetic, he's truthful, he's an alpha, just like Dame Dash. He speaks it into existence. Powerful brother, great person, about character and integrity. Deion Sanders went to that school because he wanted to be an impact to young black males at Jackson State, and he also wanted all HBCU schools to get more television view. Also, he wanted to go ahead and let the kids know all across the country that, you know, you don't have to just settle to going to the Alabamas or going to the University of Wisconsin's or going to Florida States, to Miami's, or going to Oregon or going to UCLA or Notre Dame, that you actually can still get to where you're trying to get coming out of the HBCU. One historical fact: a lot of your great football players, past and present, then came out of HBCUs, and a majority of them in the Hall of Fame also came out of HBCUs. People like Jerry Rice, people like Walter Payton, people like Eddie George. Look these people up. Okay, look these people up. These are great legends of ours in the world of football. But people are upset right now because after 3 years, Deion Sanders making only $300,000 a year the last 3 years was given an offer of $5 million at the University of Colorado Buffaloes, and he took it. Now, watching some of the other podcasts today and listening to people, there's a lot of mixed messages and opinions and feelings that are involved, and a lot of people had a lot to say. One thing I want to say is, a man, godly ability is to awaken our children out of a deaf slumber. That means to wake them up to be wise and knowledgeable and wise, to be able to believe in themselves, to be able to let them know that they can be great, they can be filled with ambition, they can go on and live healthy lifestyles and become great people of communities. That's what Deion brought to Jackson State. But there also comes a time that a man and his godly ability has to be a provider and a protector. He did what he did at Jackson State. He gave them 3 great years. And now he moves on and takes $5 million from the Colorado Buffaloes. A lot of people are saying, you know, we ain't trying to stop him from getting his money. He should get his money. And how dare we tell him not to? But it's disappointing when, right when we are making moves and progress, people always come and take our biggest impact or our biggest enlighteners or our biggest coaches away from us. I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair to say that. One of the problems that we have as a people and as a community is that we have what we call this Jesus Christ complex. And this is no disrespect to nobody. But what I mean by the Jesus Christ complex, especially amongst our people, is that we always seem to believe that only one person can save people, or one person can impact everybody else and put themselves out on the line. And as I tell many people, one person can't do anything. I remember they used to say such things as, Farrakhan is in Chicago, and why hasn't he cleaned up the streets of Chicago? Those exact same reasons, a Jesus Christ complex. You want one man to do the work that you need to be out here assisting with. Everywhere we turn, we want one person, LeBron James, to be the sole savior of millions of black people. And that's the problem we have. Anytime you want to impact change, it takes more than one person. It takes a unified front. It takes a village of people that all have one common cause. One common core. We have to get off of this Superman complex, this Jesus Christ complex, that one man can save us all, while the rest of us just sit back in our morals, ready to criticize the man's attributes or his failures, because we do that a lot, and you know we do. A lot of times we like to, just in conversation, get to dialing up in our minds and counting how much money we think a person has. Person can have some money and he might not have shoelaces in his shoes for the day, and y'all think he's broke. Person might have some money, a beautiful home, and might not have a car, and y'all think he's broke. This is the jealousy and the envy and the crab in the barrel syndrome that we all portray in our community, and it has been nothing but a detriment to our community. And now it's starting to affect our survival. This year 2023, we in the future. Not wait till the future, we in it. Yet we still have this thing about wanting to be the big me's. We want to keep up with the Joneses per se, or we want to be the look at me's. Look at me, I got more, I got this, that, and that. What you got? And I hate to use the word race, but we are the only culture. You want to use race just for this particular speech, we can use that, but we are the only culture, the only race that does that at the magnitude that we do. It don't matter who you are or how conscious you may think you are, because in the conscious communities, we do that a lot too. But we always trying to one up each other instead of supporting one another. And that's our downfall. And a lot of you've heard this before. The problem is, are you going to ever decide to give it a chance to become an impact and make change? And can you go and get more people to walk with you in that change or in that commitment to go ahead and better our communities? And when we say community, we got to be very clear what we're saying, because some of us don't own nothing in a community. But one of the things that we do own in a community is the fact that we own the choice to just be better people towards one another. We own that choice to be able to come together, to lessen the crime, to educate critical thinkers, and bring us all along to become critical thinkers, to educate ourselves outside of being told to only educate yourself in their school systems. What do you do when you get home after you done got off work? Nothing. You done gave 8 to 16 hours to these other people and their corporations, and you don't try to fulfill your dreams, your goals, your realities. You go to school, and when you come home from school, you just do their homework. But on Friday and Saturday, you don't want to touch nothing that has to do with your people and learning about your people, or learning about something that you may want to do, a trade or anything, learning how to create a business. We need our people to be focusing into that, focusing, knowing how to grow our own foods. But we have so many people with the microphone right now that are leading y'all astray. They always want to talk about ignorant stuff. They always want to show ignorant stuff. And it's crazy. I don't have a problem with what DEION did, because DEION explained himself. He's following his personal journey, and that is to impact all kids, because they still kids at 18, young adults, all athletes, all colors, it don't matter. And I get it. Some of us, because we live in emotional times, and some of us was just catching on to DEION at Jackson State. But you know, we have Eddie George down there, another professional football player. We have several professional football players that are at these institutions and is helping the schools. Of course, we need more help. Of course, HBCUs do. But it was Deion that impacted. He was the light that brought everybody's attention to it. Deion leaves behind his children to continue to go there. He has Deion Sanders Jr., which may go with him to Buffalo. He's actually a videographer for the football team, so he may be part of his father's staff at Colorado. But look at that. Deion is teaching his son how to do the sports things behind the scene. Everybody doesn't have to be the athlete. That is a career in itself. Deion's son, Shadir and Shiloh, are also playing at Jackson State. Deion Sanders' daughter, Shalami Sanders, she just committed to play basketball for Tamika Reed at Jackson State. So his kids are still part of that program. Deion has gave a lot of money to that program. So when he gets ready to decide that his next move is to move on to Colorado, because that's probably going to be a 3-year stopgap as he builds up his resume to go into coaching and following his dreams at whatever level that may be, even including the NFL as a head coach someday. Let him live. There's nothing wrong that he left. Some of y'all are disappointed. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Now, maybe this Saturday we may go ahead and delve right back into the Deion subject during Friday, Saturday social hour. It may be Saturday when we do the show. But I do want to say this. You know, a lot of our people, like the Bob Johnsons that used to own BET, the Russell Simmons that was co-owner of Def Jam, we sell our product. But there's two things you have to look at it before you make a decision on telling somebody or accusing somebody if they're selling out or not. And that's this. Products are made to be sold. And that's why you invested in it, in its creation, its time, its sweat. But who are we to tell you, look, man, don't sell Def Jam? Who are we to tell you, look, man, don't sell BET? Who are we to tell you don't go to Colorado? Should we own our own television stations? Absolutely. Should we own our own record companies and distributions? Yes, we should. But who are we to tell another man that he can't sell his product? Ask yourself right now, because some of you are small entrepreneurs. If you are selling coffee at a coffee shop and somebody says, look, I want to franchise this coffee shop. I want to buy it from you. I want to give you $3-4 million. And, you know, you can leave your name on the coffee shop, but I want to buy it from you and put this in so many other various locations. What are you going to do? When the object of this game of life is to create generational wealth for you and yours. Because by helping you and yours, you're going to be able to help others. But we live in this society, in this culture, whereas you are damned if you do and damned if you don't. When you ain't about nothing, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't garnering nothing, you ain't elevating, they talk about you. As you start to try to rise to a different level, try to change yourself, try to become a better man, try to become a better woman, they talk about you. When you tell them that you're trying to create a new business, a new store, a new idea, they talk about you. Or they don't want to support it. This podcast right now is being shown live on YouTube. It's being shown live on Facebook, and also to my 800 personal friends. It's being showed on my private page. And how many likes can I get? All of a sudden, them same friends that say they love us and they support us, they don't even want to hit the like button. You don't want to hit the like button? What envy? What hatred? What jealousy? What negative energy has you not even want to just hit the like button? You might not even want to watch this video that's been running for about 41 minutes now. But you stopped by. You don't want to hit the like button? Why? So I'm not mad at Deion making the decision he had to do. I would love to have 10 Deions giving that much support and energy to the HBCUs. And here's what I'm going to tell you when I say that in the same breath. We got 10 Deions. Deion's personality just brought the cameras to Jackson State because he is a living legend in football. And he backs up what he says. But we got other living legends that have great character and great integrity that are also giving back to HBCUs. They may not have the glamour. They may not be so well off spoken as Deion. But where are you supporting those schools? Are you supporting the Alcorn States, the Jackson States, the Gramblin's, the Southerns, the Tuskegees, the Malcolm X community colleges? Where are you at? Have you ever even gave a donation of $100, $50, $20? Where are you at in your community, in your communities? Are you an opportunist, or are you out here trying to inspire the next young man and the next young woman for free? Where are you at? So before we go cast judgment on Deion and what he's did, let's appreciate what Deion has done in 3 years. Most coaching lifespans last anywhere between 3 and 7. You be at a school for 7 years, man, you're in the legendary status. They probably going to put a statue outside of the stadium or something, depending on your wins or losses. But the man gave for 3 years, y'all. And we need to go ahead and grab that mantle and continue to push forward to encourage young people to go to HBCUs or young people to just be great people. Because a school is nothing but what it is. It's an institution of learning. And you go within these institutions and you pick and gravitate to what works for you, what keeps you engaged, what can help you in the near futures. That's what it's about. It's not getting stuck on the fact that it's HBCU. Because if we were really that serious about HBCU, we would continue to send our kids there, encourage our kids there before Deion Sanders ever entered our conversation. HBCU's been here for a long time, beginning of the 1900s. So don't blame that. All that is old media encouraging you who to love, who to like, who to hate. They do this vicariously. They do this subconsciously to our people. They use it as a distraction, and they use it as a division to get us to arguing amongst one another about something so small. Let's go ahead and applaud Deion Sanders and be happy that he's still here with us. and he will continue to be able to encourage the youth, man. That's what his mission is. So let's definitely give our props to Deion Sanders, tip our hat to him, and salute the king. All right, moving along to our third segment tonight, we're going to go ahead and talk about these spring parties that's going to be coming up in the spring. Usually you people celebrate Easter and all those pagan holidays, but something came to my mind today as we get ready to go into the year 2023. One of the things that I'm bothered by in our community that these promoters are doing, and I said this a while back, but I'm going to bring it up again. Lately, promoters have been trying to make money, of course, off of whatever theme they got going on. And every spring, they want to start doing these mommy-son dances or daddy-daughter dances. And I don't see no other cultures bringing that division. That's us doing it to each other. What do you mean, Saba? What I mean is, why we don't see a Daddy Sunday? And please don't start saying, well, because the daddies ain't around. You might have ran them off if we're going to get technical. But I will need for my promoters to start encouraging family parties, mommy and daddy day with children, or Daddy Sunday. Yeah, it's beautiful to have daddy-daughter day. That's beautiful. I'm not here to knock that. But there are fathers that don't have daughters. And we need to be encouraging the connection versus detaching that narrative. We need to be encouraging more fathers Sundays. And yeah, some of you say, well, a dad doesn't take a son to a dance. Yeah, some of them do. But I get it. But how about Father Sunday fishing day? Where you take your son out with a fishing pole. I know that this may be strange or even be hard to you because it's like 50-50 when it comes to outdoors activities. A lot of our people don't do fishing, especially if they city people. But fishing is one of the greatest therapeutic things that you can do. So my promoters, I need you to start encouraging that. Encourage Family Day. Encourage not only Daddy-Daughter Day or Mother-Son Dance, but encourage father and son. That needs to be of importance if you're going to be out here trying to get money off that particular type of theme. That's all we're saying. I've always questioned that, and I had to debate and argue with people when they'd be like, it's Daddy-Daughter Day. Okay, cool. That's cool. And it shows a bunch of daddies with the daughter. That's cool. I'm all for that. But let's not disregard what's up with Daddy Sunday. I'm not feeling that just Mommy Sunday. Yeah, that may be showing him how to take a date to the prom, to Sadie Hawkins dance, or whatever type of things like that, a wedding ceremony or whatever. But it's not nowhere near the impact of father taking son fishing or whatever. So let's make sure, to my promoters out there, let's make sure that we start to encourage more daddy-son themed things, as well as mommy Sunday or daddy-daughter dance or whatever. Even make Family Day. You know, let's start making family days dope. You know what I'm saying? So those are my thoughts on that. Go ahead and leave a comment. Go ahead and hit the share button. go ahead and subscribe to the video. Let us know your thoughts on those type of those parties, those themes that promoters are trying to make money off. Lastly, on the show, I want to talk about an incident that had to do with young JOCK and his wife. I don't watch a lot of those reality shows like I used to. I try not to. I like to control my energy. So basically, I don't watch too much of those negative bullshit ass shows. First 48, any of that shit that talks about death news, any of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not feeling that. I don't want no negative around me. So I don't really watch the reality shows. However, I did catch on a podcast young JOCK and his wife these past few weeks. And what startled me was the fact that young JOCK's wife, and I don't know her name, and in this case, we don't need to know. But young JOCK's wife told her husband, young JOCK, that she hopes that her kids don't grow up to be like their father. Yeah, that's what came to my mind too. I couldn't believe it. So, what is the purpose, y'all, of this marriage shit? Just to go in front of a judge and give this chick what she wants, a title? Marriage to me seems like the chick is only using that to say, girl, I ended up getting him. Do you know how to be a wife? Because in the last 20 years, we ain't seen no big moms. Do you know how to be a wife? A lot of you women don't know how to be a wife, don't know how to be a girlfriend. You're more worried about likes. You're more worried about attention. You're more worried about your bag. You're more worried about the miserable advice that your friends give. But do you know how to be a good woman to this man that is also giving you his time? Because see, many of y'all believe because you got a vagina that that's all you need these days. And with that same mentality, then you wonder why men go off and cheat on you, if that's what you want to call that, because I definitely got a different definition of cheating. And I'm sure that you've heard me talk about it on this show. And if not, we have future episodes where we will discuss what is actually cheating, because I believe in polygamy. But it's a detriment to disrespect a man that provides for you. Young JOCK's wife, I don't know what your name is. I don't know what your background is. I don't know what you did before. So I only can speculate, and I don't like to do that. But wherever you were, you ain't where you are today. And a lot of that has to do with young JOCK getting you in front of cameras, young JOCK elevating you from a civilian to a celebrity. And you tell your kids don't be like your father. A man that has built a career, a man that is a boss in his city, that owns a radio company, that owns a restaurant. I remember he used to own a rim shop. So what he's doing is he's showing his children how to be financially free, how to be, a boss and not just a worker. Again, something that Dame Dash speaks about. So it shows the idle disrespect when you tell your kids or you tell the world that you would rather your kids be somebody else. That is so disrespectful. And I say this: we're not really a negative show here at Coffee Talk Podcast. We choose not to go that route with our news coverage. But I'll say this and mean it: get rid of these chicks, man. I'd rather see them lonely and miserable and take joy watching them think they know everything, and be happy on my own, in my own accord, than to sit here and be disrespected. There's more women than men. Leave them. Leave them be. Outside of podcasting, I work in an emergency department. So I see life and death every day. And one of the coldest things that you ever want to see is a woman that's 50, 60, 70, 80 years old in that hospital with no children, because you know the children don't got time, they too busy. And you don't have no husband there to support you or no wife there to support you, and you just single, laying on the bed cold. Cold. That's something that you don't want to see. That's something you don't want to live out. You was put in this world to find you somebody, a companion, and find somebody you can share with. That's equality. Not to just be a loner and not raise children, create children to continue your legacy, or not find love, true love. We got it bad, sisters. You got it bad just respecting these men. And you may say, well, they ain't doing nothing. Stop that. When are you ever going to drop the entitlement and take accountability in the men that you choose? And a lot of you, I hate to say, but a lot of you are already burnt up. 2, 3 baby daddies. One baby daddy's a murderer. The other baby daddy don't work, got 10, 20 kids. The other baby daddy don't even like you, and you had to keep a nigga baby. Or whatever it may be. You burnt up when you have all these baby daddies. Don't no man want to deal with that. And your mouth. But I tell young Jock, I would say, Jock, you leave her. But this is why y'all got to be careful with getting married anyway. Because even if young Jock leaves her, whatever little bit of money he done maintain, she going to want half just to spite him. When all she really has to do is just stop being disrespectful. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are in the young Jock situation. I know a lot of y'all seen it because it's been in the news. Leave a comment, hit the like button, share the video, and also subscribe to Coffee Talk Podcast. I want to say this. It's been a wonderful show tonight. I thank you all for tuning into our show and continuing to support our show. Thank you very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for supporting Coffee Talk Podcast. So what I want to do now is just want to hit you with the universal peace sign. And I just want to say, on your way out, man, grab yourself something to drink. Pour yourself some coffee, a cappuccino, some water, some wine, a beer, whatever. But either stay here, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show, or on your way out, make sure that you got the flavor. This is Coffee Talk Podcast. I am your host, MISHUMAA SABA, M. Saba, and this is our cultural variety podcast show. Until this weekend, see y'all soon, man. Peace and love, beloved.